Ingmar Bergman, the legend of intellectual cinema. Ingmar Bergman, born in 1918 in Sweden and passing away in 2007, stands as one of the most influential filmmakers in the history of cinema. Over the course of 6 decades, he directed more than 50 films and reshaped European art cinema through narratives steeped in profound questions about death, faith, and identity. Raised in a strict religious household, Bergman's upbringing laid the foundation for the spiritual and psychoanalytic explorations that permeate nearly all his works. From an early age, he understood that cinema could serve as a mirror to the human soul, and throughout his life, he wielded the camera as a tool to dissect thought and emotion. Three elements define Bergman's cinematic language. First, his masterful use of silence, long, weighty pauses that often convey more than dialogue ever could. Second, his fearless deployment of close-ups, where a subtle eyelid tremble or a single tear carries the emotional weight of an entire monologue. Third, his stark, minimalist lighting, deep shadows, scarce light sources, and cool or monochromatic tones that intensify feelings of anxiety and solitude. The interplay of silence, close-up, and shadow invites the viewer into the inner recesses of his characters' psyches, creating an experience that is both theatrical and deeply cinematic. Bergman's cinema is driven by existential inquiry. Death and the search for meaning lie at the heart of The Seventh Seal, where a medieval knight challenges death to a game of chess in the hope of finding purpose before the end. The silence of God and the crisis of faith recur in films like Through a Glass Darkly, Winter Light, and The Silence, a trilogy that captures the soul of a seeker yearning for divine answers in a mute universe. Themes of loneliness and estrangement dominate Persona and The Silence, where even intimate bonds cannot dissolve the invisible walls between individuals. In Scenes from a Marriage, Bergman anatomizes romantic love, revealing how affection, pain, betrayal, and reconciliation interweave. And in Fanny and Alexander, he stages the family as a battleground between religious dogma and artistic imagination, yet keeps the flicker of hope alive. Bergman offers no easy answers. Instead, he raises questions that compel the viewer into a personal, introspective journey, intellectual and emotional alike. The Seventh Seal, with its iconic image of the knight and death, became a universal symbol of philosophical cinema. Winter Light portrays a pastor confronting his loss of faith in the cold emptiness of a desolate church. Persona, exploring the psychological tension between two isolated women, dismantles the boundaries between identity and mask, and remains a daring milestone of form and content. Scenes from a Marriage presents a brutally honest portrait of married life that sparked social debate upon release. And Fanny and Alexander, Bergman's grand cinematic farewell, is a richly layered family saga that juxtaposes religious rigidity with the transformative power of art and fantasy.
Jag minns det så förskräckt ut, inget farligt.
Det låter ju verkligen hotfullt. Vad är det du ska berätta då?
Jag är med barn.
Det sa jag för 3 veckor sedan och du förnekade det.
Jag vill inte oroa dig.
Det är verkligen hänsynsfullt.
Vad ska vi göra nu då?
Menar att du vill göra abort?
Jag vill att vi ska resonera om saken och sen gör vi som vi gemensamt har beslutat.
Bergman demonstrated that cinema could plumb philosophical depths while still captivating audiences. Filmmakers such as Woody Allen, Andrei Tarkovsky, Krzysztof Kieślowski, and Lars von Trier have drawn from his psychological intensity and minimalist precision. The image of the night and death has been endlessly revisited in popular culture, and his films are foundational texts in film schools around the world. Modern auteur cinema owes much to Bergman's insistence on character-driven storytelling and inner drama.
Because I can learn from the audience reactions, and can be very educating, very hard.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Do you have any movie that you consider a complete failure?
Oh, many. Many from financial way or from artistic.
Either one. Or have you ever had both at once?
Oh yes, yes.
Through haunting silences, expressive faces, and shadow-laden frames, Ingmar Bergman explored the core of human existence and elevated cinema into a vessel for reflection and emotion. His questions about life, death, faith, and love remain as vital today as ever. Watching a Bergman film may not provide definitive answers, but it will inevitably leave you with deeper questions, and perhaps a richer understanding of yourself and the world. That is the legacy Bergman carved into the history of art, and it continues to resonate.